If you've ever been curious why an astronaut is our logo, our dream is to one day hopefully travel into space and view our world from outside itself. But now is not the time to be focused on a future beyond the stars. We've been forced to disconnect in an unprecedented way. And with the future so uncertain, we're reconnecting with our friends and our community to see how they're dealing with the now. Helmets off. Let's do this. So why don't we just kick all of this off with a little bit of an introduction? Tell people who you are and what you do.
Sorry, we had a little bit of a fall. So I'm Becca. I have a salon in Lawrenceville, hair salon focusing on pretty much everything hair, and also doing lashes.
Right on. Well, I was going to say before we dive in, and it's also called what?
Heart of Glass.
Right.
Oh my God, what's my salon even called?
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. You got to tell people these things.
No, I don't. They can figure it out. Google me. I'm famous.
Google her for real.
Google me.
Well, so obviously things are just absolutely insane right now, which is why we have to talk like this. So with the government safety mandates, have you been able to operate your business at all?
Um, Not really, no. We have done so. All of our operations have been shut down since March 16th was our last day, and then we have done very few sales of gift cards and some product as well, but that's pretty much it.
Have you been trying to develop like any new side of your business? Like obviously, I think the whole world realizes that there's a vulnerability that we just kind of accepted like wouldn't ever happen, and then it's definitely happening. Like,
Yeah,
is
I
there
mean,
something new you're doing?
I don't think anybody could have honestly even been prepared for anything like this because it's just not something that you don't prepare for being closed for, even if there was something that happened to your building, or you're closed for a week or two, or you find another place to operate if possible. I know that one of the salons I used to work pretty closely with, they had a flood and they worked in other salons. So I don't really think there's any way to prepare for this kind of thing, but um I mean, what I would think would be something that would help us is, just kind of creating something new. So we've done some products that we didn't do before, like T-shirts. I feel like a lot of people are reaching out to us, like, how can we help? Because they don't want to see us fail because we're newer. Um, so that's been nice because it's our community that's looking to help us. So we did create some merch. We have some sweatpants and sweatshirts, T-shirts, stuff like that. And then I'm also working on an education platform for stylists that's more digital. Um, so that's
I
a little
like that.
that's a little bit different. I'm an educator for a color brand currently called Pulp Riot. They do color, they do styling products. Their big claim to fame is pretty much like funky colors. And in working with them, I kind of realized, like, right now, nobody can do anything. So yeah, you're looking for online education, but even in the future, after all this is said and done, when stylists are in the back room, they have 10 minutes, maybe max a day, and they can, go in and do some education online. So it's something that can be used in the future, not just right now.
Right. Well, kind of getting into like the government aspect of it and not really knowing how long this is going to last.
Yeah.
Are there any are there any parts of the government stimulus package that you're considering taking part in?
We've definitely tried. We've heard nothing yet. So, that's been pretty great. So we've done the PPP loan for keeping payroll running, and that also helps you pay rent, which is super helpful since we don't have any income coming in to help pay rent, and we are new. That's been a little bit tough. So we have applied, but we've heard nothing, and it's been a week. So as soon as that dropped, we were like, yep, we should just for some security. I think it's helpful for any business if you're able to pay it back, or supposedly be forgiven on it, then I think it's helpful.
Right, and of course that silence is deafening. Um, so obviously, I'm sure you never expected to be looking into government relief packages whenever you decided to start a company. Has there been anybody that you've been leaning on, like mentors or advisors, giving you some advice on like what you should be looking for out of these stimulus packages?
So honestly, this is a very odd thing that I don't think many people would say, but a lot of my sales reps that work for companies that sell to me typically have actually been coming to me and saying, "Hey, this is available for you. I know you're a little bit newer." Most of the people that are coming to me and trying to present these packages or just relief are people that are like, "Hey, we know that you're new and that you would really benefit from this. I read about this. Here's an article." Like, they're sending me articles and then sending me links to apply. So it's been a lot of people that are just in the industry for a long time that have been reaching out to me, because I'm not a person that usually typically reaches out for help. I would drown before I before I reach my hand out. But this
Fair
is a
enough.
little bit, it's a little bit nicer when you have somebody that's like, "Hey, this is for you," and you're like, "You know what? I have no idea what's going on because this is so new for everyone, but especially me." Like, "Hey, oh, that's what I do. Cool."
Interesting. I never would have expect. It's like an unlikely character to
Yeah.
hear a sales rep is like the person reaching out and being like, "Hey, you should do this."
Yeah,
Um,
luckily, one of the big companies that I purchased from is a family-owned supply company. So they're pretty much only in, like the northeast of the U.S., but they don't go too far out. I think they're like Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and that's it. They're the ones that are really. I think they don't want to see us fail, because then they lose a customer too. So it's kind of like the cycle.
right. Well, I guess like keeping in the realm of relationships, um, as a business owner, you're used to being in contact with your employees and your clients like on a daily basis.
Oh yeah.
So how many employees do you have right now?
So if I include myself as an employee of the salon, we have six. So we're not too big, but we have four stylists and then two lash artists and one that's also an esthetician. So,
Um, has communication slowed down a bit, or are you still fairly constant contact with them while this is going on?
well, staff is a little different. Obviously, we're not seeing each other. Two of my staff are pretty part time, and then the other ones, we all actually have been on Marco Polo a lot. So because we're so used to seeing each other's faces, I feel like text is so cold for us. We're like, we're face to face, hands on people. We're in an industry where we touch people, or around people all the time. We're in their face. So Marco Polo has been helpful. We've been on that a ton. And then otherwise, I send out texts to like check in on everybody, just, "Hey, how are you doing?" But I don't overstep my boundaries. I'm like, if you need anything, reach out to me. But there are a few of us that are in the Marco Polo that's just every day, all day.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's been absolutely insane, the methods that we're starting to resort to maintain our relationships. But keeping in the vein of your employees, uh, can you paint like a little bit of like a picture of the situation that they're in right now? Like, is everybody pretty okay?
I feel like a lot of us are just not okay. Honestly, I feel like because we're such a hands-on industry and we're on our feet and we work a ton, a lot of us are kind of just down in the dumps. It's definitely taking a mental impact. It's not so much of a hit, you know, as far as money goes. I feel like everybody's pretty comfortable. Most people got unemployment, which was nice. Um, but I feel like the mental hit that people take when they're just used to being like with people all the time is tough, and you definitely see that.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about this along the lines of like being in like solitary confinement. And the weird thing is that we actually can still do some stuff and like communicate with people. I can't even imagine what that type of punishment actually is like for somebody now. Like that I'm starting to like get a perspective of that. And
Yeah.
that's kind of terrifying to me.
Kind of makes you more insane to a point.
Has to,
Yeah.
has to.
I have a friend that one of my friends that owns a barber shop in Squirrel Hill. I talk to him all the time on Marco Polo because like he lives alone. He just got a dog though, so that's been helpful.
It helps a ton. I don't know if Kyla wasn't here, I have no idea what I'd be doing with myself half the time.
I'm sure.
Um, but good segue talking about your friend right there. Like, we're all wearing a bunch of hats, right? Well, we always do. You know, we're people. So, you know, whether you're a parent, sibling, friend, spouse, child, like this is an absolutely insane way to exist. Um, but like, how are you doing as a human in the whirlwind of all of this?
I have a big appreciation for stay-at-home moms now because I have a 3-year-old, Harper, who runs around this place, and I think this is definitely taking a toll on her because she's always playing at daycare. She has a ton of friends, 3-year-old friends. So um, she's been a little rambunctious and it's been kind of difficult, but I've been honestly doing a lot of things that I don't typically have time for. And I'm kind of thankful for that. I think as business owners, we neglect a lot of things because it's hard to pour all of yourself into a business and then also take care of your home. So I've been doing like projects at home. I've been learning guitar again because it's been years since I haven't had nails, but my
Music.
nail salon is closed. so it's been, yeah, I've been learning guitar again. I've been getting some things done. I've been trying new recipes and just trying not to, lock my kid in the basement.
Well, at least like you're doing exactly what I hope most people are doing, which is to find either like pick something that you're not good at and get good at it, get back to the things that you used to love or you still love but just don't have time for,
Yeah.
or just, or like, as much as this is so stressful, just find some way to enjoy having the time, because there's really nothing else that we can do about things right
Yeah.
now. But so now we're kind of living this interesting internet life. And I don't know if there's anybody out there that, like, whether they need help or they're doing something really cool that you've seen, or they're just really good friends. And but are there any businesses or entrepreneurs or just people in general you want to shout out and just send some love?
Um, Honestly, I feel like this is huge. Thanks, some good print.
Uh-huh.
um, I I have I know that a lot of people are having a hard time, so I think I feel like a lot of people should definitely, if you're in a bad headspace, you should be using things like the suicide hotline. I know that's not like a shout out, but I think it's a thing that a lot of people don't look at or don't think about, especially when they're alone in this whole situation. um, I think that's something that we just don't talk about enough. I think mental health is huge, and this is a test. This is a big mental health test. Um, there are there are people that you could talk to even if you don't have health insurance. When I was struggling with mental health, I went to see Dr. Wong at Eye Health Clinic in East Liberty. He is $35 flat for any situation, whether it's health, mental health. He'll see you for a bite that is infected, or for depression, for $35, and he doesn't charge you anything later like urgent care would. He's just $35, and if you're out of work due to coronavirus, he's actually discounting it to $25. So health and mental health, like if you really need something, reach out to somebody, anybody.
That's actually pretty amazing advice. I was not
I
expecting
know, like
that at
I
all,
have
but
a lot of
that's
friends that own
kind of
businesses, and I would love to shout them all out. But like a lot of us, I don't want to be like, hey, you know what? You should go order from Condado because they have really good deals on food right now, and they're also delivering margaritas. But I do love them, but not a lot of people have extra money to spend on food right now. Um, and if you are struggling with that, then there are some other routes you can go. So I don't want to be shouting out things like "go spend your money here." I've been spending a lot of money at highway robbery. Not gonna lie. The
I'm
Instagram stories they put up, but I'm like, I don't have the money for this. I'm out of work. Coronavirus.
Kate is going to love to hear that.
I just got a package from her today.
Hey, just make sure that you take a photo of it. She'll put you up on her story. She's amazing at doing it. I love her. I love her internet presence. Um, so to kind of start to wrap this up, we wanted to use this as a way for people to connect a little more
Yeah.
while we're forced into this crazy isolation. Um, so before we bring this to a close, I wanted to give you a chance to ask a question to all the people watching. It can be goofy, it can be serious, it can be Netflix requests, like suggestions. Uh, lay it on them.
Wow, there's a lot of questions I could ask.
I know.
um, Honestly, I think my big thing right now is trying to find, because every night when I go to bed, more or less, I've been watching a scary movie. And I don't normally do that because typically I have weird dreams the way it is. So scary movies add to that. Best scary movies. I need some suggestions because I'm running out. It's been so long. Every night watching a scary movie. I need good scary movie suggestions, like weird ones.
All right, people watching, you heard it. Put them in the comments, tag her. Let's see your scary movie suggestions. And then lastly, tell people where they can reach you, your website, your social, your everything.
My social security number.
Yeah,
Um,
that would be terrible right now.
yeah.
You
You know
don't
what?
need people taking
Good
your
luck.
identity right
Good
now.
luck. I am on Instagram at Becca Freds with a K, Becka Freds. I also have the Heart of Glass Instagram, which is Heart of Glass PGH. We're heartofglasssalon.com. But I'm always available. Like, even if you don't have anybody to talk to and you want to reach out, I'm on Marco Polo. I'm on Instagram. If you need someone to talk to, I'm a good listener because that's what I do for a living.
Right on. Well, actually, I think people will take you up on that. I'm
You'd be
I'm
surprised.
actually very serious
I
about
put it up all the time. Every couple of days, I put up a post. It's like, hey, if you need someone to talk to, message me. So people have definitely taken me up on it.
Well, Becca, thank you for helping me out in doing this for my inaugural interview for Helmets
I'm
Off.
so proud of
And
you. You did great.
hey, I tried. But stay sane, stay safe. Don't lock your daughter in the basement.
I'll try. Cheers.
Cheers.